Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Groundhog Week where the sky is dark and the days are cold.
It's encroaching on our lives. The never-ending.
What's that tapping at the window? It's nighttime. It's here at 4 p.m. and it wants you to turn the lights on.
That's exactly what it is.
What's that knocking
That's
on the
exactly
door?
What it is.
It's cold.
It's darkness.
It wants you to turn the heating
everywhere. I can't wait.
Winter was actually invented by energy companies to sell more electricity.
The bastards.
There was no winter before 1973, apparently.
Exactly. Who owns winter? It is the heating companies. It is British Gas. They own it. They've got their monopoly
British
on it.
Gas and E.ON conglomerate that owns the rights to winter. Yeah.
npower own a certain part of the winter period, but they're falling apart. Let's be frank.
They are. Yeah, exactly.
As I'm sure you're all aware of the current situation regarding energy companies within the United Kingdom. We're just giving you a little oversight into what's popping, what's not popping, what's heating up, or what's chilling down. But apart from that, thank you for joining us once again. It's another week.
Speaking of energy, I was going to say, I was actually checking my meter recently, which they advise you to do at least once every 3 months to ensure that bills are accurate.
Just remember that, everyone.
Yeah, and I was checking my meter, and actually kind of wedged behind it, there was a battered envelope, which I pulled out, and it turned out it was the Dork mailbag.
Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Just tucked behind there.
Just really rammed in. I think it'd been deposited by an angry spider at some point.
Of course it would.
And I've opened it up, and there's actually a record tying 2 letters in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big. Another big
week. It is, yeah.
Thank you, everyone, once again for sending stuff in. It's greatly appreciated. We obviously would like more, but at the same time, 2's a nice amount. Let's be frank.
Well,
we can't give away too much.
We're sifting out thousands of letters, which are just absolute dreck, to be honest.
Yeah, literally
some really bad stuff.
Literally, I'm kicking it out of you as much as possible. It's actually clambering in my face.
Yeah, a lot of erotic fan fiction in there as well. Which is appreciated, but obviously this show is broadcast before the watershed, so we don't include it. But it gets pretty raunchy.
We'll be doing a late night down with Boring at one point. Kind of like when when Hollyoaks did Hollyoaks later. Do you know where it got a little bit blue? Hollyoaks would do a little late night one. We might do one later as well. I tell you what, Valentine's Day isn't that far away. So...
that'd be nice. Well, Valentine's Day is a celebration of love, whereas this is pure lust, isn't it?
And smut and filth. And in some of the letters, I believe, criminal acts. But we won't talk about that.
At least in most UN member states, anyway.
Most.
Oh, come on. We all know anything's legal in France, isn't it?
If you are from France, please confirm. Send a letter in. We're welcome.
Please do. Please send a letter in. We'll Google Translate it if you don't speak English, but you probably don't understand the show, so... unlikely. Anyway, the first letter of the week is from Paul from Banbury.
Banbury?
Who says, don't even know what that is.
We've made it, haven't we?
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Banbury, the kind people of Banbury. And he says, what's the best way to cook an egg?
Wow, quite a divisive question, actually. I know we're in a US election year, but Jesus suffering. Best way to cook an egg. I like a scrambled egg. I'll be frank with you. I think it's quite adaptable. I think it's quite you can do a lot with it. Is all I'm saying. A fried egg's always quite nice. Poached, I feel, is underrated. The poached egg feels like quite an old school technique, isn't it? I try and do that. I used to be really good at poached eggs, but then now every time I try it, it just ends in just egg everywhere, just
poached
white
eggs.
It's horrible.
I've got a theory which could realm into conspiracy territory about poached eggs, and that is that I don't think poached eggs are cooked the way that all the online recipes say they are. Like, you know, you go to a restaurant and you get a poached egg, right? And it's lovely.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
it's
oh,
great,
you just get the saucepan and you just sort of swirl the water around a bit, crack the egg
drop
in,
it in.
and Bob's your uncle. Doesn't work. Absolutely does not work. So I think what's happened is restaurants have got it's sort of like a KFC thing, right? They've got the recipe for poached eggs in a safe. And they're spreading misinformation. Because if there's one thing, after you've ruined your 5th poached egg, do you know what you're going to fucking do? You're going to put your coat on, you're going to go down the road, you're going to get a poached egg from a calf, aren't you?
I mean, that's the logical step. I mean, usually I end up just abandoning it and creating a hybrid.
Same. A hybrid, sort of egg water.
It's kind of like just a mush.
It's like a cup of tea, but the tea bag is an egg.
And the liquid is just is the white residue that is left.
It's all mixed in with that water you tried to swirl round, but it didn't work. You know.
Yeah, some say it helps your metabolism.
Because you will shit yourself instantly.
Famously. But less about what comes out. What other letters have we had come in, Jake?
Oh, good one. Honestly, I mean, ring up BBC Radio 1, get us on there. You ever heard a segue like that from Grimmy? You haven't, have you?
Yeah, by the way, if you want us on some sort of national radio station, we are open to that. But, you know, we believe in people. We believe in people power. You can decide that. So you can either keep us here and we will go further down the rabbit hole into the abyss, or you bring us up into the light a bit. And we might.
It's kind of like a Fathers for Justice thing, isn't it? Like we're saying, look, if you don't put us on Radio 1, we're going to climb the Big Ben of lunacy dressed as a superhero. Put us on Radio 1, or we descend into madness. And that brings me on to the second letter. Which
where's this going to go? Hold on.
It's not actually related. It's Luke, from Barry from Didcot. And Barry says, do you prefer zebra crossings or pelican crossings?
Great question. Really, really good question.
Really good question there, Barry. Really insightful.
I prefer a zebra crossing, to be honest.
Same.
Number one,
100%.
Number one, it's more immediate. It's more immediate because obviously at a pelican crossing, you, for example, press the button and you may have to wait quite a while depending on the arrangement there. A zebra crossing is very much instant, isn't it? Or it's meant to be. I know you.
Well,
I
think there's a fundamental argument about the design of cities that goes into this, because a lot of cities in America are designed for the car. Right, they were rebuilt after World War II with the car in mind, and you can't get around without using a car, which is quite an elitist, polluting way of looking at things. Right, you take rights away from pedestrians and give them to car owners, which is not motors. You're giving it to someone who can afford a car. And a pelican crossing is that you press the button, you get down on your knees, and you plead with the cars to allow you to cross.
Let me cross.
Whereas the zebra crossing, you stride out. It's safe in the knowledge that if a car hits you and it goes to court, you know, you could be dead, but they're fucked, you know?
Exactly. So,
zebra crossings are the populist, democratic, working class option, and pelican crossings are for Tories.
Also, zebra crossings, they look cool, don't they? Black and white. That's quite nice.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot better.
So two different opinions there, but, you know, we get to the same point.
Exactly, and that's what's great about this show, you know. You're a moron, but we get there.
We take routes around, but we end up in the same place.
Not even gonna go against that. You just accepted it. So ground down by the show, just like, yeah, fine, whatever.
What is a moron nowadays?
Right. Okay. Well, on that note, shall we move on? I mean, as always, please send in letters. Please send in questions, facts, anecdotes, locks of your hair, anything you want. Send them in.
Whoa. I mean, we'll take most except the last bit. But, you know, send them in. You know where to find us. We're on all the social medias. Ping it over to @ReadDork everywhere. That'd be nice. Jake, Shall we delve into some news? We've got a busy show coming up. We've got all sorts. We've got
yes.
we've got tracks coming up with a special guest contributor coming in. I'll reveal more later on. We have Lauran Hibberd, special guest, coming in as well. Going to get the lowdown on some new music and the Isle of Wight. Exactly what you need. Some would say. So let's not fuck around the bush. Let's get to it.
As the saying goes. It's also worth pointing out that usually we record this on a Friday for release on a Monday, but I'm actually moving flat at the weekend. So we're recording this bit on Wednesday. So the news is the news at the moment. But if something cataclysmic happens and you're listening to this in the bombed out wasteland post-nuclear holocaust, the reason we haven't mentioned it is because it hadn't happened yet. So this is like a time capsule to better days.
Wait. The reason why we haven't mentioned it, I've got this idea that the world has literally fallen apart. Like it's a
someone's
nuclear
using
wasteland.
the last remaining faltering bursts of internet to stream the Dork Radio show and listen to the news and gone, well, they didn't even mention the nuclear holocaust. I'm never listening again.
I love the idea that we're planning out the show and we're like, I suppose we should mention, the fact that it's a nuclear bomb's just gone off and it's just destroyed the planet. I guess we should mention that.
We could say, actually, it's not music news, is it?
Yeah, it's not. It's not music news. So come at us.
You know what is music news, Jamie?
What is music news, Jake?
If a band were to announce a second album, that would be music news, don't you think?
Well, yes. And it just so happens a band have gone and bloody well done that. We're talking about Black Honey, who have announced details of their second album, written and directed, which I presume makes sense. They also, they will have rewritten the music and directed it in some ways. It's their second album. It's out next January.
I've heard it's not pressed in a very COVID-19 friendly manner. Is that correct, Jamie?
I mean, so here it is. Obviously, we've listened. We've played. Their two recent tracks. They're kind of comeback tracks, if you will. Black Honey, Beaches, and Run for Cover. We're fans. We like that. Good stuff. Seeing details though of Black Honey's obviously new album, and there obviously will be a physical release, as is the way with the times. But there's a version that's coming out which is pressed with their actual blood, sweat, and tears.
Feels horrible. I don't want that to exist.
It's been pressed with the blood, sweat, and tears. So when someone goes, "I made this with my blood, sweat, and tears," it's like, well, not exactly. Not as much as Black Honey's second album.
Surely that's going to impact the quality.
It depends. I don't know. Like I've heard of other people who pressed, vinyls with like blood and stuff. But
it's a no from me.
Yeah, and I guess the problem is what if you could easily never know unless it's literally like,
give it a lick, see if you get hepatitis.
There's a little pointer. Welcome to the next chapter in Black Honey's career. Oh, and fancy some hepatitis? Why not?
I mean, I assume none of them have hepatitis. They might do,
But,
who knows?
It's an interesting new way of going about things. Maybe that's the future when we've got no minerals left. We're going to have to make it out of our own blood, sweat, and tears, everything. We have to drink our own blood. We have to bathe in our own sweat. And I guess make milkshakes out of our own tears. Maybe that's the future.
Sounds lovely. Well, if this nuclear bomb goes off the next 2 days, this is actually a useful section, isn't it?
Yeah.
Less useful, if a nuclear bomb goes off, is the announcement that the MTV EMA nominations have been announced. But that has also happened, anyway. So we will still be talking about it. So, Jamie, yes, the MTV EMA award nominations have been announced, as I just said. Always a weird awards, I've thought. So, like, Just the fact that it's called MTV EMAs always put me off. That's a bad name. Like too many acronyms, too many letters.
You don't like
also,
it.
EMA was the educational maintenance allowance, wasn't it? When I was at college, I got £30 a week to get to and from college. So I always get a bit excited. I'm like, oh, MTV are giving everyone EMA, but now they're just nominating Taylor Swift for best video.
Yeah, dear MTV, can you not name it after a very niche and short-lived maintenance allowance that was given to people when they went to college about 10, 15 years ago? Can you please not do that? For the love of God. But it's award season, isn't it, you know? Crack them out, you know?
They've also got a couple of things which, they've got one for Best Virtual Live, which I think is interesting.
They've added that in, haven't they? I guess.
Pandemic-centric one. But they've also got a very poorly worded category, which is just called Biggest Fans.
As it... Sorry, I've got the images in.
Ariana Grande is going to win because all of her fans are 7'4". Like, you know, everyone that likes Lady Gaga. Everyone that likes Lady Gaga plays competitive basketball. Yeah.
I've heard that Shaquille O'Neal really loves Blackpink, and therefore we've got a winner. Taking the aggregate height and size of their fans. So you know, yes, Bieber is nominated, but are all his fans, you know, very small people?
He's got some very small fans, so I don't know if he'll win.
Got famously small fans. Got a lot of them, but they're small. It's an interesting category. I must say, but you know, biggest fans it is. Let's see who can reach the award on the night. Maybe it's going to be placed on a platform, and it's all about
maybe it'll be dangling from the ceiling, and someone has to jump and get it. They've also released a statement about the awards, which I think the tone of may be slightly misjudged. They said, it's no secret that 2020 has been an absolutely wild year so far. Wild, all in capitals. From virtual live stream performances to the birth of a plethora of amazing quarantine content, the world sure has rolled with the punches and embraced these unpredictable changes. Obviously, the MTV EMA will be no different. There's a pandemic on MTV. People are dying.
Yeah.
Like, this is not...
We're
like, what are you talking about? Like... Honestly.
I really like it. I like the idea.
The unbridled optimism of that. Look, on the bright side, there's been some really great quarantine content.
To be fair, though, it has been wild. It has been a wild year.
Guess.
It's one way to put it. A load of people are nominated basically across loads of categories. So you know, there's, you know, like 1975, 21 Pilots, Hayley Williams, The Killers, Green Day, Liam Gallagher, you know, Bieber, Taylor Swift, BTS.
You don't have to name them all. You don't have to name them all.
There's a lot, all right. There's a lot. And yeah, all going down in November the 8th. So awards. Shall I say?
Yeah, I found it actually quite interesting. I wasn't expecting for best group. The Wombles have been nominated, which I find quite interesting.
Well, they're going to do a virtual performance.
No, it says Little Mix, not the Wombles. My mistake.
Oh, yeah. The famous confusion. Yeah, you thought that there was a BBC One talent show. You thought there was a BBC One talent show curated by the Wombles.
I wish.
Leading the charge of nominations is Lady Gaga, who's basically got a fuckload. So here's a banger from her latest album, Chromatica, which we rated on the show, and we thought it was really good. This is 911.
My biggest enemy is me, Papa 911. My biggest enemy is me, Papa 911. My biggest enemy is me ever since day one. Papa 911, then pop another one. Keep my dolls tight, them in boxes, safe until I don't gon' drop this front I built around me. Always this paradise is in my hand, holding on so tight to the status. It's not real, but I'll try to grab it. Keep myself in beautiful places.
You know, interestingly, that song was so popular in America that that's now the number you call to get through to the emergency services.
What came first? The emergency services or the Gaga song? Hey, look,
We'll never know.
We don't live in America, so we don't know. Maybe, you know, give it a go, see what happens. Good stuff. Let's talk about some more news. Let's talk about
Feed me
friend
news.
of the magazine, Phoebe Bridgers, has announced details.
Sorry, is Phoebe Bridgers a friend of the magazine now?
Yeah.
We're really expanding this name, aren't we? I mean, we like Phoebe, but is she a friend of the magazine? Would the
So what,
magazine invite
she an
Phoebe to a
acquaintance?
New Year's party, and would she turn up?
I think we would invite her. I don't know if she would turn up. She's busy.
I think
she's got
acquaintance
better
of the
places to
magazine.
be. Acquaintance of the magazine. So, sorry. We simply don't want to spread misinformation on this show because we're a beacon of truth.
We are a beacon of justice in an unfair world.
Phoebe Bridgers has announced that she's basically opening her own record label. It's called Saddest Factory. Isn't that nice?
It's a very good name. I really do enjoy the name.
She's also she's laid out pretty clearly what the label's all about. She's just gone good songs regardless of genre. There you go. Piece of piss,
genre's
isn't it?
dead, so you know.
Glad someone's at the front of it.
That's true.
There's a bit of a fun interactive website that's about now as well.
I was going to say, you seem to stop there. I really did want some more info than that, to be honest.
There it is. If you want, they've got a really fun little website going on. It's been a big year for Phoebe, hasn't it, really? She's kind of obviously taken off.
Yeah,
her latest album,
very
Punisher.
big year.
Big. Doing big stuff, great stuff, critically revered, happy days. Just good stuff. Well
know
done.
when artists make a label within their label?
Yeah.
So she's working in partnership with Dead Oceans, which is her label, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So if she signs someone and then they make their own label, is that allowed? A label's label? Or does it have to stop? Does the madness stop at Satisfactory?
Will it be like a Russian doll set where
exactly,
you think you've got one label, and you open it up and there's another label in there, and then there's another label in there.
And eventually everyone's just signed to Warner.
Everyone's signed to Twitter. That's the end result.
That's the future.
But it's nice stuff. Phoebe you can't stop her. She's on a roll.
I imagine Phoebe Bridgers now has fans all over the world. I think she's probably even got fans in the former capital of Imperial Japan, Kyoto. What do you think?
Well, as fate would have it, she's got a song for that. And that might have just swayed it, I reckon. The national anthem of the former imperial capital, is that correct, Jake?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Former imperial capital of Japan.
Famously, the history of Japan comes under geography.
I'm gonna go look at a map. This is Kyoto.
Now, Jamie, did you look at a map or did you Google a map?
I mean, surprisingly, I Googled it because I don't have just a huge map on the wall, do I?
Well, this is interesting, you see, because Googling might seem innocent, Jamie. Imagine I've just turned my chair round and sat on it like a cool counsellor, like the school counsellor.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, Googling might seem safe and fun, but have you ever considered that sometimes celebrity names are dangerous to search for online?
What do you mean dangerous? What, as in if there's like a celebrity name like, I don't know, terrorist, cock online. Do you know what I mean? Like that's dangerous to search.
No, not quite that. Basically,
okay, you mean right.
Basically, they've looked at celebrities that you can search for online, and then the ones you're most likely to end up down an online rabbit hole that could put you at risk of viruses. So celebrities that come up on dodgy websites or news articles that are actually not real, So and the highest musician on the list is Mick Jagger at number 5.
Dangerous guy.
If you search for Mick Jagger, you could get a computer virus. Mick Jagger is riddled with viruses, is what we're saying.
He's literally crippled by it. Literally brought down to his knees by by viruses. I mean, that's interesting. So I guess they're like, I don't know, people. Are they presuming that people who Google Mick Jagger are more likely to go along with a ploy, or
I think it's just like there's just really famous people that are big online. They tend to have these fake sites or fake links made about them. And Mick Jagger's been really famous forever, hasn't he? So I guess the backlog is there.
Yeah, because they were making web pages about Mick Jagger famously before the internet was even created.
They were getting them ready for the creation of the internet. Yeah.
When it opened up, it absolutely just fucking slapped down on the floor there.
Maybe Maroon 5's moves like Jagger also contributed to it, because more people would have searched like, who the fuck is Jagger? And Mick Jagger's come up and they've got, this man can't be real, and they've clicked through and malware.
Maybe moves like Jagger is actually about the process of receiving some sort of virus on your laptop.
Well, I think we're actually overlooking one quite possible thing, which is that Mick Jagger has set up a website to harvest people's security data.
That sounds more likely, to be honest.
And I think Mick Jagger would really, really want everyone's security data. But luckily, now that everyone is more prepared for this and less likely to fall into the trap, Mick Jagger's going to learn that you can't always get what you want.
You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, will you just might find you get what you need?
That was the Rolling Stones, because that is the show that we are now, and we're now joined by the one and only Lauran Hibberd. Lauran, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to this place that we call the show. We thank you for coming down.
1 minute early as well.
1 minute. This is it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, get that on air. I think Lauran was our first early guest by 1 whole minute. So future guests, you should probably do the same, because it makes our lives a lot easier.
Yes,
it really
does.
Not
going to name any names. Not going to name any names.
Not naming any names.
But you know.
Just load it in. Just Jesus. Just absolute drag him down. But this is
so funny.
But this is it. Turn up early. It's all good. I mean, Lauran, you were saying that obviously, you know, whilst we were listening to the Rolling Stones, of course, that, you know, being early is your thing. You're a very much get there early kind of person.
Yeah. I love to get there early. Hate late people. What are you doing? What else are you doing right now? You said you're going to meet me at 12. Where are you? Do you know what I mean? What's gone wrong?
It's a very fair situation, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know,
plus, we've all got phones. Just message me. Tell me you're going to be late.
But I don't want to know that you're late when I'm already sat there at 12. I want to know you're going to be late at 11:30. I'm not messing about sitting there on my own, ordering a pint by myself. It makes me feel rubbish.
just staring out the window, just like, this is not good. This is
if
not
you're
good.
the kind of person that's always late, take a good look in the mirror, get a grip, you know?
Exactly. Sort yourself
Grow
out.
up.
I really love about this is that the only person we've mentioned being late so far is Alfie Templeman.
Sorry, Alfie.
We're just going at him.
I think Alfie was literally about like 2 minutes late as well.
Yeah,
it wasn't even.
No,
It wasn't even
that's
a
okay.
time.
2 minutes is okay. That's a lenient.
He was the only one I could think of that definitely said he listened to the podcast. So I thought he'd probably be the most fun to call out.
Yeah, that's funny.
We see you, Alfie, right in. You know, hey, stand up for yourself. It'll be fine. But I guess how are things, Lauran? How are you doing? How are things in the world of Lauran Hibberd at the moment? You know, obviously
everything's fine. I don't really know what to say to that question anymore, because it's like, well, everything's obviously rubbish, but I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I don't want to be a drain.
Also, it's like, you know, as compared to what? Like, how are things today as compared to my normal life for the last 6 months? Because compared to my normal life, shit. But compared to the last 6 months,
compared to normal
fine.
life, this sucks. But overall, I've been watching a lot of Lost recently.
strong.
I've got to say that's made my lockdown amazing because
Quite
I've never
a few
related.
people seem to have watched Lost over lockdown. I've seen a few people doing it. As a Lost watcher, what is the unique appeal of Lost during lockdown?
Yeah, what makes it so
Honestly, I've never been so attached to a group of people I have never met in my life.
What, even us?
I mean, even you guys.
Yeah.
Even Stephen. Private joke, everyone. Private joke.
Yeah,
come on, guys.
Because
Get on board.
I was early, I got to have a little jokes. So we're all
That's
right.
just one of the many benefits of being early.
Of being early,
Exactly, hanging around. Oh god! But these group of people.
But yeah, Lost is brilliant. Everybody should watch Lost forever and a day.
Have you seen it before, or is this the first roller coaster ride for you?
This is the first time, and if you follow me on the old socials, you'll have seen my journey through Lost, season 1 through 6.
Have you
I've had a
finished?
couple of bumps along the way. A lot of people trying to reveal the end before it's happened to me.
You don't need that. You don't need that.
I just block those people. I don't want that in
you
my
don't
life.
need that negativity. Yeah.
Yeah, if someone's going to say that to me, they're not going to hear my new single. Do you know what I mean? That's just how it goes in my book.
That's fair enough, I think.
Yeah.
They can hear your new single, but they can't hear the last 10 seconds. They're not allowed the end.
Exactly, yeah. I will haunt
they're
them.
not allowed the ending. Yeah, you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know. So have you
But
finished
no, I haven't
Lost?
yet finished it. No,
haven't?
I've
No.
got 5 episodes to go. So
God, that is close.
Ooh.
That is close. My God.
I'm on the precipice of. I'm trying to wean it out a bit now because I don't want it to end. Because I will just feel it's like a breakup, isn't
You'll
it?
feel lost.
Yeah.
I'll feel lost without lost.
That
was a good one.
There he is. Oh,
He's
that was
arrived.
above. He's arrived. He has absolutely turned up to the races. God almighty. I mean, that's fair. That's what it's worth diving into. But you mentioned a new track.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this segue. We've got a new Lauran Hibberd track is out in the world. It's called Boy Bye.
It's called Boy Bye.
How does it feel having new music out? It's been, I guess, like the last time you released music was like almost right at the start of the year.
Yeah, it was sort of like
and
March,
now-
April time.
Yeah. So how does it feel? Kind of like coming back towards the end of the year, kind of like Boy Bye. Like, how does it feel? Kind of like putting more new music out in the world. Has that wait? It feels like has that wait been long? Does it feel like it's been a long time since you put out music, or has it gone by pretty quickly?
I feel like I've got grey hairs now, and I didn't when I first released music. This has hands down been the longest 6 months of my life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Because basically what's happened is I was supposed to fly and play South by Southwest in Texas.
Of course, yeah.
And then I was supposed to go to LA and record some tracks with producer Susie Shin, who's done
Nice.
like the last Weezer record. Basically, I'm a massive fangirl. So that was really exciting. And that was the plan. But lockdown happened, couldn't fly anywhere.
Yeah.
So we ended up recording the tracks remotely, like me
Christ.
here on the Isle of Wight and her there in LA. Which all sounds really fun and is actually sort of a technical nightmare, but we pulled it off.
That's it. At the end of the day, technology is the real winner out of all of this. To be honest with you,
technology is the winner
out of the whole thing.
But
so were you just
I think long term, you'll say like, I want to work with this producer in LA when there isn't a lockdown, and they're like, well, you managed it remotely before, so
you've done
you
yourself
don't need to go to LA. You can stay on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, so what will happen now is my idea of just wanting a nice holiday, record some songs somewhere sunny, that is now scuppered because everyone's going to go, you can do it from your bedroom on the Isle of Wight.
Ruined. The dream has been...
Thank you, lockdown. Thank you very much.
The dream is over. The LA life.
I know.
It's just gone downhill. But I guess
it has,
so did you have to kind of like just send stuff? Like did you have to do like Zoom calls? Like what was it? Just emails?
So we did a couple of FaceTimes. Not sending stuff back and forth, but you got to remember there's a time difference as well. So what I found a bit of comfort in is when I was going to sleep, I knew she was still working on it somewhere else. And then when I woke up, it's sort of like we were doing day and night shifts, but it was never stopped being worked on. So I could like go to sleep being like, it's all right. Susie's on shift now, so I found a bit of comfort in that. I've got to admit.
Nice.
But yeah, also sometimes though, like when we were recording drums, for example, she had a cool drummer in from LA. He didn't come down here, gutted. And then
How dare he? How dare he?
yeah, and she
It
and
was
Susie
really
FaceTimed
50-50
me.
where he was going to go.
Yeah, it was hard to choose. So she FaceTimed me at 3 a.m. while they were recording drums. She just forgot about the time difference thing because, you know, she was so excited by the drums. And I answered it, and I don't think I've ever looked so bad in my life. She looked so shocked at the sight of me. You know when you like wake up and you turn a light on and the first thing you see is yourself in your front face camera? Can you just imagine what that's like for a minute?
Yeah, that's not
And then
great,
imagine
is
that being with a really cool producer and a really good-looking LA drummer on the other side, and then just think about what it's like being me
And you're
for a minute.
squinting like a mole in the light, like you've never
Just
seen
like,
the light before.
It was terrible news.
And he was like,
It was
"Yeah, this sounds
awful.
really good. This sounds really
Yeah,
good. Thank
this sounds
you so
really
much."
good. I look
Okay.
terrible. Thanks for the humiliation.
Back to
See you
bed.
tomorrow. Yeah.
yeah. Turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that with you, Jake. Where you've seen me. Well, I mean, no, you've seen me worse for wear. Obviously,
I was going to say, when do you look good? It's just a constant feeling that I've woken you up somehow.
That's so funny.
You've startled me. You've kind of like tapped me on the shoulder, and I'm just like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
A constant feeling that you weren't expecting visitors, even when we're in the pub together.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. God Almighty! But having it done, having that track done, Lauren, as well, did it feel like you were like, right, this is great. Like now you're like, right, now I can crack on with the rest of the year.
Now it's finished, and I look back on it, I was like, oh, it was a laugh, really. But I don't really laugh at things until after it's all over. At the time,
right.
I don't know if I'm having a good time. I don't know if I had a good time till about a month later on, and then I go, oh yeah, that was all right, wasn't it? I do that on tours. Everyone's like, you having a good time? And I'm like, I don't know if I am. And then a month later I'll be like, oh yeah, that was boss. But I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah. You're just like, look, I'm just trying to get through the day here. Like, don't ask me these
I was
questions.
like, I don't know. I'm
please.
just a bit hungry and very tired, and I hate sitting in that van. But I think I'm having a good time, but I'm not 100% sure.
And then, a few weeks later, actually decent, actually all right. I'll give it that.
Exactly.
God.
On reflection, not bad.
On reflection, not bad. Hopefully not the tagline for this new single, because it's actually pretty good.
I mean,
you know.
thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Actually, not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
You know what we could do? We could actually have a listen to it right now, and the listeners can decide. So yeah, this is Boy Bye. This is the new one from Lauran Hibberd. There it is. Boy Bye.
There it was.
Yeah. There it was.
There she blows.
There it was.
On
There she
reflection,
blows.
very good.
Thank you.
That
I've
go on
had
the
time
poster.
to digest it, and I was enjoying myself when I listened to it.
Good.
And what a review! On reflection, I
Can you
enjoyed
write that
myself.
down? I can put it in my bio or something.
Yeah. We'll take it all.
Yeah, happy for you
We'll
to use
take
that
it
on
all.
all
Yeah.
posters, adverts,
Brilliant.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like you say, we're after any sort of sponsorship here. So obviously,
Lovely.
any brand deals we can get with, like, I don't know. I mean, like, who is the perfect brand partner for you, Lauren? Like, if you could be sponsored by anything in the world, what would it be?
In the world?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for like Oreo or something.
strong. That's
I
very
would
fair.
I have this vision of like my face being on the biscuit.
Would the biscuit be shaped like your face, or would your face be printed on the biscuit?
Oh no, my face would be printed on the biscuit.
Like a stamp of approval.
Yeah, like a stamp.
The Lauran
It would
Hibberd
be like the
stamp of
Queen's
approval.
face, but on
Yeah.
on Oreo.
Sorry, what is the Queen's face on? I mean, I guess money. Money is the main
Money,
one.
yeah.
Money.
Forgot
Her
about
little
money.
face.
Yeah, forgot about that. I was
Forgot
like,
about
what
that.
biscuits
What
have the
is
Queen's?
Yeah.
What biscuits have the Queen's face on?
Yeah, I should have
like-
probably explained that a bit better.
No, I think that
Oh,
was
like
probably
hot dogs.
me rather than you.
Okay.
Packet of digestives with the Queen's face on.
Yeah. Oh my god, now that is something.
Yeah, there we go.
I bet they sell them in the Buckingham Palace gift shop. You know?
I feel like she's probably more of a shortbread woman. If she was going to be on a
no,
biscuit,
100%.
it would be like
It's got to come in a tin. She definitely eats a tin
Oh,
biscuit, doesn't
absolutely.
she?
Yeah.
She's the tin biscuit type.
She's
not the
very
plastic
much
wrapping.
a tinned Christmas edition biscuit. Marks and
Whereas
Spencer style.
I bet she
Oh,
eats like
100%.
shit.
What do you
I
think?
hope
She eats
so.
like
No, I mean, as in, like, I just think she's
oh, is that what
probably
you mean?
just like got really boring, like English food taste from like 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to
Well,
be
that hasn't, like,
exciting, is it?
evolved.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel
I
like
can't
it's
imagine
like
having a
mince.
katsu curry.
No,
No, me neither.
no. Yeah, exactly. Like if
I
you
feel
said
like,
to
yeah.
her,
I feel like she eats bolognese and she's like, oh, I do love it. Have a bit of exotic food, you know?
Yeah, she thinks that's exotic.
I reckon
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
I reckon she has like. I reckon she still eats like hot pots and things like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's the feeling I
Yeah.
get.
Chicken
I
supreme.
hope so. It'd be really weird if she was getting Uber Eats and
Yeah.
was
That'd be a hell of a
Ordering
delivery
from-
request, though, wouldn't it?
Turtle Bay. It would be quite
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I
Do
do
you think she
feel.
considers prawn cocktails too modern to eat? She's like, no,
Probably.
it's too newfangled for me.
Yeah. Oh, too exotic for me. Yeah.
The idea of Nando's must be too
Oh,
much
must baffle her.
for
It's too
the
cheeky.
Queen's
She'd
mind.
never be able to handle it.
No,
She'd only have. Yeah.
exactly.
She's not eating anything with a stick with a flag on in her dinner, is
No,
she?
No, definitely not.
No
is this
mimics here.
Is this my stick, my flag?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm not having any
Yeah.
I
of
don't
this.
recognise
I'm
this
not having
flag.
Clear rid. Talking
Yeah.
about the domain of the Queen.
Interested
Lauren,
to
as
hear
you
this
mentioned-
segue, please.
You're
Laura,
starting
as
it brilliantly.
Thank you, Lauren. As you've mentioned, you are currently and you have been a long-standing representative of the Isle of Wight,
I
the
have,
famous
yeah.
island based just off the south of England. For those who aren't aware, and we thought this would be the ultimate time, really, to get an insight into what makes the Isle of Wight tick. Why should people visit the Isle of Wight? What is different about the Isle of Wight? And so we're seeing this is your moment as the tourist board representative of the Isle
Okay.
of Wight. We'll have some sort of grand music play now, I guess, like some
Lovely.
sort of horns. Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
So what we're going to start break down and find out, the places to go,
Okay.
people to see, what's happening. We've got a range
Of
of
course.
questions, and you're here to answer them. Thank God, because otherwise we wouldn't know
Thank
what's
goodness
going on.
I'm here.
Thank goodness. So the Isle of Wight. First of all, the big question obviously is, how to get there, the best method of travel. Because I
Yeah.
believe there's a choice. I mean, you've got obviously the classic ferry if you're bringing a motor
Yeah.
over, of course.
And then the
Yeah.
hovercraft is available,
The
isn't it? I
hovercraft
believe.
is the other
Yeah.
one. Yeah, what's the better one in your experience as someone who knows it far too well?
It depends if you're in a rush or not. I'm going to say if you want comfort, you're better off on a car ferry because they've got nice lounges, panoramic
Yeah.
viewpoints. You soak in that experience. I imagine if you haven't done it,
Yeah.
200 times, I imagine it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I think trying to take myself out of it, it might be enjoyable for anyone that isn't me to get on a car ferry and, really have a look outside and see what's not changed.
Yeah.
And then, but for convenience and more of an experience, I would suggest a passenger ferry. I'm talking
here we
about the Fast Cat or the hovercraft
Ooh.
is also an experience.
That
But
doesn't sound
if
good.
if it's a rainy day, I'm going to say big fat no.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
go
not
well.
fun. It's
No.
not. It's never good when babies start really crying and
Oh,
shopping
no.
starts falling out of bags and You know, it's not. There's only one toilet on things like that as well, and that's what you got to be aware of. You want to get the seat by the toilet.
Oh no! Yeah, this doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound like a good way of travel at all.
I'm going to say you should get the car ferry, preferably Red Funnel because they serve hot food as well.
Brand sponsor.
That's
by the way,
inside
if anyone does want to sponsor right now, Red Funnel, give us a shout. We're here. We're ready. We'll happily promote your travel. I mean, the hot food. Good shout. Good shout.
I've always wondered with the Isle of Wight festival and with Bestival, because basically, if you're playing there, unless you've got the money for like a helicopter, you've got to get the ferry. So does that mean like Nile Rodgers got the ferry over?
Do you know what?
Do you think like you'd be sitting there in the lounge and you just turn to your left? You're like, oh, is that boy better know over there? Good thing they got the Red Funnel because they got some hot food.
Yeah. Just the image of Fleetwood Mac. Just on a ferry. It's like, oh god!
It's
I can imagine.
it's the one weekend of the year. It's the one weekend of the year where, you know, the ferries really come to life on social media. They're pretty quiet throughout, as you can imagine. Then what happens is Rag and Bone Man gets on Red Funnel, peak of fame. And then what happens is he goes up and he steers the ferry. Do you know what I mean? His first time
Classic,
and only time on the ferry. Have a photo of him steering you back to the Isle of Wight. Lovely. I've been on there about 1,500 times and I've never been in the executive lounge. I've spent 1 million times more pounds than him on a Red Funnel, and that's my payback.
I bet you he didn't even have to fucking pay. I bet you he did not
pay. He got
pay.
it for free.
The cheeky
I'm
furious.
And where is he now? Eh? He's not driving ferries, is he?
Exactly.
He's not on the ferry.
He's not got a new single out, has he? He ain't got a new single out.
He hasn't.
He's not on the best podcast around.
Exactly.
I'll have the last laugh. I'll have the last laugh.
One day, Rag and Bone Man, you will fall. And what a fall it will be.
Exactly.
A great insight. Jake, what else on the tourist guide do we need to know here? We've obviously we've got the islands.
We have. I was wondering what the best place to eat on the Isle of Wight is, in your opinion.
Right. Well, we're very lackluster here in terms of chains. So
my
we've
friend's
got very
dad
few...
used to run the Wimpy on the Isle of Wight. I know that much.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The Wimpy is historic.
No, I'm not having this.
The one he ran is no longer a Wimpy. I think it's a big kahuna burger now.
It's not open anymore. There's no more Wimpies on the Isle.
Oh my god!
Wayne Whittle did once run the Wimpy, and his son went to uni with me.
Very cool.
Only reason I've asked this question is to brag about my Wimpy connections, really. But please,
you've got connections.
What is the best place to eat now that the Wimpy is closed, which is obviously the best place to eat?
Right.
Obviously.
So, in terms of trying to be serious now, it's so hard for me not to joke like all the time. It's like I have to constantly be like, okay, they want a serious answer.
A serious answer.
Serious answer.
Yes, we are desperate for a serious answer about the place to eat on the Isle of Wight.
We want the brand deal.
There's quite a few cool little local pubs and things. I'd say that's like our bag.
Nice.
And I'm going to say there's a little gaff called The Checkers, right?
Oh, hello.
Hear me out. And I'm not talking about this from a food point of view. I'm talking about this as an experience.
Great. That's what we want.
If you're going out and you don't just want a meal, because who just wants a meal?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, play with it.
You can get that anywhere.
Exactly. If you want a little arcade, a bouncy castle, and like an acre of park, equipment, swings, slide castle.
Which is, of course, what you want. That is what you want.
Which, because if I'm going to order like scampi and chips, I'm not going to sit around for 20 minutes and wait for it. I'm going to get on the arcade. I'm going to get down the castle slide. Do you know what I mean?
Great shout.
So
great.
I think,
of course, yeah.
Great.
So I think that's where I'd go. There's something for everyone there. There's a little mini golf as well. It's got only three holes, but it's only £1, so you get what you pay for.
It's mini golf, isn't it? It's mini golf.
It's the miniest of mini golfs
Exactly.
ever. It's miniature golf.
This place sounds incredible.
And the food is beyond satisfactory. It's so fine that if someone said to you, you wouldn't even say how's your food. You wouldn't even talk about it. You just eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing great about it. It's so straight down the line.
It's extra standard. Ultra medium.
It's extra standard. Wouldn't even talk about it. You'd have what you have. You'd eat it. You'd go on the arcade and you'd go home again.
Perfect. My favourite experiences are the ones where I don't actually recall any of them. If I could go through life only experiencing things that felt roughly the same as being dead, perfect.
Yeah. I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want to be underwhelmed. I just want to be whelmed.
You just want to be whelmed. Yeah, let's be whelmed.
I just want to be whelmed.
A whelming place to eat.
Great. It sounds great.
Yeah, I'm not really one of those people that cares for like a fancy environment. I just quite like.
That's a good thing you're on this podcast.
Looking about.
Yeah, it's good that you're
I like
here
looking
then.
around and being like, oh, is what it is,
right.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's what it is. Incredible.
That's
that
where I
place,
feel at home. Somewhere like that.
That place does sound.
You should go. It's immense.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The checkers.
The checkers. That's it. Yeah.
Amazing.
But you can't drink because you have to drive because there's no bus routes around there either. So
it's either that or what? Walking through just
walking through bare forests.
Bare forest. I mean, why not?
Get someone else to drive you there.
Exactly. That's what I always do.
Perfect.
Get them to drive you home. Perfect.
Get a little
Amazing.
lift. Yeah.
Even better. I have a query. Obviously, after you've done the big night out, where is you reckon the best place to stay on the island? So where's a good? I guess if out of the various towns and centres.
Okay, are we talking towns?
I guess towns. But correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a better place.
I feel like you're not going to know the best places to stay hotel wise because you have a place to live. So I guess we are talking towns.
Yeah, I mean. We have one travel lodge here, and that was the only thing I had in my head.
This is a bit of a flawed one from Jamie.
But location-wise, I can give you location best place to stay.
Good. That's great.
So
location.
we have one town. I'm going to say one because it's the only one that you could really warrant. And that's like the centre of the Isle of Wight, which is called Newport. Not to be confused with Newport, Wales.
Yes.
It happens all the time.
Yes, don't get confused. You'll end up in two different places. It'll be awful.
Exactly.
Yes.
What about Ryde? I've heard Ryde's a lovely place. They've got a lovely Wimpy there.
Yeah, I do.
Don't bring up the Wimpy again!
It was all right till it closed down, wasn't it, Ryde? As soon as Wimpy went,
that was it. That was, the town's gone.
Makes sense.
It's
makes sense.
like a northern town built around one industry.
Yeah.
Ryde was built around the Wimpy.
I don't know if you guys had this, but like when you go to school, there's always like rival schools, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? There's always like a school on the other side that you're enemies with. So on the Isle of Wight, there's a bit of a divide, and it goes like halfway across. So for me, I'm like Newport Cowes side of the Isle of Wight. So when you say something like Ryde, I get my back up a bit because I'm not from that end.
Oh, there it is!
So I'm never going to be like, oh, you should go and stay in Ryde because I'm,
Don't go to Ryde.
That's me
Ryde.
slagging off my own.
Fine. That's true.
So,
the enemy. Yeah. That's the enemy.
You ain't going to Ryde, you stay in Newport or Cowes because that's my ends. That's where I'm from.
So Newport, you'd probably say is the best place to stay.
If you're a first timer, come to Newport because if you want breakfast in the morning, that's the only place you're going to get it, really.
And that ultimately is the winner, to be honest.
It's pretty important, isn't it? There's a Wetherspoons there, so there's a bit of familiarity if you've come from a normal place.
Yeah.
I just want you to feel at home wherever you are.
You get your ground, get your ground.
Yeah,
just
get your bearings.
Secure.
There's nothing more homely. When you see a Spoons, wherever you are in the world, you feel a bit warm. You know what it's like.
You know what to expect. You know what to expect. In all of its forms. Very good shout. Jake, what else do we need on this tourist side?
I guess apart from the Spoons, what would you say is the best place to drink on the island?
Okay. Do you want the real answer or my answer?
Well, your answer, I guess. Is there a real answer? Both? Why not both?
There's probably something I should say. I should probably say, the music
no.
venue that's here. Do you know what I mean? I should
Yes.
probably plug that one venue. But honestly, there's this place called the Hog's Head.
The Hog's Head.
The Hog's Head. And I honestly thought it was a chain, shit you not, till about last month when I said it in an interview. Actually, not even a flex, but with Jack Saunders on Radio 1. He said, "What's the Hog's Head?"
There we go.
You'd never get that kind of dismissive attitude from us, you know. We'd say,
you simply
the Hog's
wouldn't.
Head, of
You
course.
simply wouldn't.
Yeah,
you know?
he said to me, "What's the Hog's Head?" And I went, "Oh my God, you what?" I was fuming. One, that I brought that up on, what could have been a glorious moment to me, and no one knew what I was on about. And two, that I just felt like a fool. So
Also, I love that Jack Saunders broke the news to you.
yeah, he
that's
was like,
pretty
"What's
good,
the
isn't
Hog's
it?
Head?" And I was like, "Jack, you've ruined me.
Yeah. Just
Now and
put the
forever.
phone down. Put the phone down.
I
don't
can't
want to talk to
continue
you
with this
anymore.
interview. Listen to this song. I don't even care about it anymore." So yeah, the Hog's Head is it's unbelievably tragic as a it's a pub, right? It's a pub, but it's more than a pub. It's not like a food pub. It's purely drinks, and there's a DJ in there, but the DJ's always the same bloke, and he's always over 60, right?
Well, I guess if he's the
So
same bloke, his age would remain constant.
Yeah, his age does stay, but he plays. I'm talking the ultimate cheese, and it's really only a destination for 40-year-old single women. I'd say that's the sort of
Ideal.
Yeah, so I should get down there. Yeah, but also it's one of the, you could put a request in, and I'll be like, "Oh, have you got any Lizzo?" And he'd be like, "You what? You what?"
That hasn't made it over there yet. Not quite worked its way into the
people
repertoire.
don't know who she is yet. It's very sad. So yeah, I mean, I personally love it in there because it's so sticky. Everyone around looks like they should have like a "Live, Laugh, Love" tattoo on them. And it's honestly, it's just, I hate the word vibe, but it's a vibe.
It is.
It's
undeniable.
so good. It's making you use words that normally you wouldn't even think of.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
That's what it does to me.
That's how good it is.
So I'd get down to the Hog's Head. We call it Hogs here on the Isle of Wight. If you're local, you call it Hogs.
Okay.
Hogs.
See, this is good advice. You say that. Yeah. People are like, "Oh, these are locals," you know?
Yeah, meet you at Hogs at 8. Probably won't get there till 1:30, will they? I'll be there on my own for a bit.
Famously.
Put in a request for the DJ.
I'll be there at 5 too.
Sorted. All right, I've got another question. This is more, more tourist focused. What is probably the best attraction? So, like, we're talking like, what are like the famous attraction people should go to see? We've had something to eat, we've had something to drink.
Yeah,
we're having a nice time. What's like the attraction? Like a daytime visit, if you will.
This is easy for me.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Black Gang Chine. It's the bomb. It's the actual bomb.
The famous. Yes.
Yeah. Have we heard of Black Gang Chine?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think Jamie's lying.
Right. So Black Gang Chine is the Isle of Wight's answer to a theme park. So
incredible.
Have you ever been to Thorpe Park?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
It's nothing like that. It's
imagine the rides at Thorpe Park terrify me, so I'm glad it's nothing like that.
Imagine if Thorpe Park was, left alone for 1,000,000 years and they never finished building the rides. That is Black Gang Chine. It's insane. All of the rides are rubbish, but they're also so amazing because they're so rubbish that they're insane. There's this maze that everyone's tall enough to see the way out of. It's just such a good day out. There's dinosaurs, fake ones, but they look real. There's the gift shops, mega as well. There's a really cool water slide called the Plug Hole. Actually kind of scary for about 3 seconds. You get a little bit of you go down the plug hole.
So you can finally live what it's like to be a spider.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, famously.
Exactly.
Oh, God. I mean, it sounds...
So that is a good day out.
That sounds ideal, to be honest. I've definitely been to Black Gang Chine, I reckon.
You probably have.
yeah,
If you've been to
sure
the Isle
you
of Wight,
have.
you've probably been to Black Gang Chine.
Is it called like something like the land? Is it like the land of imagination or something? I
Yes,
remember
it
something.
is exactly.
There
There's
we
also
go.
He's
I'm on
just
there's
board.
also
googled
a
it. He has
cowboy
no
town.
idea.
I know. I've been to Black Game Shine.
It's
It's a
actually
famous
really,
attraction.
if you're 6, it's amazing. Like if
Mm.
you're
Well,
6,
to
it's
be
incredible.
fair, now I do believe Jamie because mentally he is 6. So
Yeah,
I can
there you
see
go.
how this would have happened.
That's why you can
It's
connect the
great.
dots.
It's great. That does sound pretty good, to be honest. I mean, that
Yeah.
doesn't even, you wouldn't even compete with that, to be honest. Sounds
No.
No,
ideal. Jake, what
Right.
else do we need to know?
I think we've got one last question to ask,
Yes.
which
you've
is
given us
a
a guide and a half.
bit of a different tack here. I think the question we need to ask: what shouldn't you do on the Isle of Wight? What's going to go down badly? What's going to mark you out as someone who's unwanted and undesirable
Yeah.
to be forced back onto the red funnel?
We need to know this before we get thrown
I'm trying
into
to
the
think
sea.
what. Okay. So everyone on the Isle of Wight doesn't really love a holiday maker. We're not very patient.
Right.
If you
okay.
if you don't know these streets, we're not very patient. So what I'm going to say is, if you're going 30 miles an hour on the military road, people aren't going to be happy because it's the only national speed limit on the Isle of Wight. So don't mess with us. You know,
Yeah,
on our
that's
one
the one.
drive. In our one drive of the day, don't you be dawdling down looking at the views. We've got places
do
to
it.
be. We've
Don't
gone down
do
there
it,
for a
Jake.
The
little
other side of
70
the
miles per hour
island.
treat. Exactly.
So
So I'm going to
don't be doing
say,
that.
go 70 in the 70s for the Isle of Wighters. We don't like being held up. I'm also going to say, you've always got to have a bag for life on the Isle of Wight. You don't get good views if you've forgotten one of them. They don't
Fair,
like handing
fair.
you plastic bags anymore. We're like that.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and
That's good
also,
advice.
don't call us corkheads. Only people from here can call us corkheads. You never heard that?
No.
Right, so someone born and raised on the Isle of Wight is called a corkhead. That's
Right.
the term. And
Why?
people get really annoyed. I don't know. It's because there's like this there's basically a place called Wroxall on the Isle of Wight, which is an absolute no man's land. And if you're born in Wroxall, they say you've got like 11 toes and stuff like that. It's that sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So it's kind
Also,
of like
little
the Isle
rule
of
is
Wight
don't go to
for the
Wroxall.
Isle of Wight.
Yeah, it's exactly. So if you're if you're also come to the Isle of Wight, don't go to Wroxall. Bad rep. But yeah, corkhead is just like what we call people that were born and raised here. So if some
Don't do
people
it.
have like moved over here as a family when they're like 40 or whatever, they're like, ha ha ha, you're a corkhead. No thanks. Only corkheads can call each other corkheads. We're not having any non-corkheads dishing them out.
Yeah.
Do you see what I
According
mean?
to the internet, to caulk something is to stop up the gaps between ships with a waterproof material, which was
There you go.
seasonal work for islanders in Portsmouth and Southampton. So it was used for
There you
migrant
go.
workers.
There it is.
So yeah, offensive
There
if you're
it
not
is.
one to say it. That's
Corkhead.
actually a
If
good one.
you're not one, to call us one, it don't go down well.
Don't
Yeah,
do it.
not going to
Don't
go
do
down
it.
well at the
Don't do
Hog's
it.
Head, is it?
Absolutely. If you're
Hogs.
screaming corkhead in Hogs, you're getting thrown out.
You reckon we'll get done? We'll get done at Checkers if we do that as well. It's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite good advice, to be honest. So drive the speed limit.
Yeah,
Drive
And
really,
also
really
don't-
quickly and don't shout racist slurs at people.
pretty much.
Solid.
Yeah,
Solid.
that's
Solid
what
advice,
we're all
yeah.
about.
I think, to be honest, that is quite the comprehensive tourism guide. I think me and
Thank you.
Jake might have to. We'll obviously book our trip over now. To be honest,
Absolutely.
we were hovering whether we were going to go or not. But
Yeah,
I think you've
now
sold
really
I've
sold
pushed
it.
you over the edge.
You've really sold it to us, to be honest.
It
And now
really
we
is
know
the trip of a lifetime.
the trip of a lifetime. You heard it here first. The Isle of Wight. We're going to book that, but unfortunately our time is up now. Unfortunately, Lauren. I want to
Gutted.
say it's gutting time. Thank you for your in-depth guide. You
No,
look
thank
into
you
the
for
world
so
of the Isle of
much.
Wight, and thank you. Cheers for stopping by. It's always appreciated. It means that we can just keep the lights on for a few more weeks.
Exactly.
Which important. Hey,
Of course.
Jake, I believe you're also off. What were you
Yeah, I'm going to go
what are
and
you
get
doing?
the guest for the next segment. Go grab him
Right.
and bring him in. like a sort of
Okay, cool.
a conveyor belt. You know, Lauren's out, someone else is in. It's
You're
it's just
I'm easily
it's a mill.
replaced.
It's a content
Yeah,
mill.
Jesus
you know?
Christ.
Yeah,
Content mill.
I'm
What we'll
all
do,
about that.
what we'll do is we'll play Old Nudes, another one
Lovely.
of your songs. Who'd have thought it?
What a day.
What a day! We'll play that right now. Thank you for stopping by, Lauren, and
Thank you for
we'll
having me,
catch you
guys.
soon. We'll catch you
See
soon.
ya.
Enjoy.
My
Bye.
money, I wonder what he's thinking about. I bet he's running out of ways to tell everybody that he has a dirty photo of me, and he stored it on his iPhone 3. You can see it by the look in my eyes. Want you to send it to some bigger guys. Did you have to come around again?
Lauran Hibberd, Sails into the Sunset. I know we mentioned that Jake's obviously gone to look for Abby, but it's a bit awkward because Abby's here. So I don't know where Jake's gone. Abby, how are you? Welcome back on board.
Hello. Thought
Hello.
you'd never ask.
How dare you? Well, of course, come on in. To be fair, if we can get Jake out of the house, it's probably a blessing more than anything. But I don't know where he's gone to find you. I don't know where he presumed you were.
It's because I offered him out for a fight earlier.
That'll be it. And
So I
so
can-
he's
Kill him off for good and retain my spot.
I love the fact he's like, I'll go find Abby when actually you're going to have a scrap and you're going to come back in some way just like wounded or just dragging Jake's body to the door.
Who do you think would win is the important question.
I think Jake would be more mouth than actual fight, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
I feel like he could talk a really great fight. He would talk his way out of the fight and talk his
I
way
would
into it,
definitely
but not
cry.
actually. Yeah. Well, as you beat him up, as you destroy him on the floor, just he's all right, I'm sure. Oh Lord. Well, the only fight going on here is the fight for new music because we're here to talk about some of the best new tracks out this week. It's been an interesting week. Usually we sit here and we go, there's been a load of new music out. Like we simply can't choose. I'm not saying there's not a huge amount of choice because there was, but I feel like we knew exactly what we were going to talk about this week. It makes it sound like we were very, I don't know, adamant that certain things weren't going to get in. New music, go on, please continue. We're a well that is open at all times. I guess I'll kick things off, shall I, Abby? I've got a track here. It's from a newcomer. It's new. We've played artists on the show before who haven't been the regulars, if you will. And this one feels like a new regular may have just arisen to the occasion.
A friend of the magazine, if you will.
Well, can you earn that status of friend of the magazine? We shall see. But if you're releasing songs like Maya has, which is MAY with a dash and an A, just to clarify, just in case if you need to search. She drops a new tune called Apricots, which is an absolute banger. She's from Australia, from Sydney to be precise, for all those geography nerds out there. And this song, it goes. It's like a little warm dose of summer when you needed it the most. Kind of come out of nowhere. I'm a big fan. Though I'm not a huge fan of apricots themselves. Are you a fan of apricots like themselves, Abby, or are you adverse to that?
I think I prefer a peach.
Okay, right. Okay.
How do you feel about apricots with mayonnaise?
I beg your pardon?
Which is what is discussed in this track.
I glossed that out of my memory, to be honest, because the idea of mixing that is not the one that I would like.
It sounds like something that would crop up on Martin's best combinations list.
It would. For everyone out there, obviously Martin, who's been on the show, he makes some incredible lists ranking various situations. One day he will appear and he will delve into the list, I'm sure. in fact, potentially time for next week's show, which
Yeah,
we
I was
won't
just
talk
gonna say
about.
next week.
We won't talk about just yet. We're going to tease that. You have to stay
Wink, wink.
tuned. Wink, wink. Stay tuned, and we'll tell you all about that. But it's Apricot's song, an absolute belter. It's great to kind of like hear these new artists come through with like these really great, like, I guess, alt pop songs. Like, it feels like that's it, you know, if 2020 has given us anything, apart from a worldwide pandemic, it's given us some really great alt pop songs, and this is one of them. Hopefully, the start of something massive for Maya. And let's let the music do the talking. This one is Apricots.
Up in my mind, we're together. I'm sorry, I have forgotten. You're not looking for a person. There's something you already got. Live inside my mind forever. At least with you I'd be lost. You're not looking for a girl when there's something you don't know you want. Something that you don't, something that you don't know, something you don't know you want. Something that you don't.
See what you mean about the apricots and mayonnaise side of it.
Of course.
I'm not sure about it. I'll be honest with you, Abby. It feels alarming. What did you make of that track? It was alright. It was good, decent, wasn't it? Nice little one.
Very good.
Very nice. Happy days.
Little gentle bop, as I described it earlier.
Gentle bops, because come on now, it's getting near the winter. We need to keep warm.
Yeah.
And we need to just, make it through. And that's the sort of song you need. Lovely stuff. Yeah. Abby, what have you got serving up? What tracks have pricked your ears, so to speak? What has caught your eye in the world this week?
Well, I feel like it's been a pretty lo-fi week across the board, even for the big pop acts. Because this is not a pop song, according to Little Mix. It's not a pop song.
Oh, what have they done? What are they like? So what is it if it's not a pop song?
It's a bloody dig at Simon Cowell is what it is.
Oh, here we go, me. Oh, no, she didn't. How? So, what? First, I mean, I know the Little Mix world, as obviously everyone, I'm sure, believes. I am a mixer, if you will. That Little Mix fans called mixers.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See,
there we go.
I'm on it.
He's a real
I'm
one.
on it. I'm a real one. Okay.
Who's your fave in Little Mix?
Oh, let me have a think. I think they've all got their best qualities. I feel like if I pick one, I'm gonna get in trouble in some way. But I reckon my fave is. I think my fave is Jade, actually.
Oh,
because
Jade's my fave too.
I once saw Jade at a Killers gig once. Just a little. I don't want to name drop, but all I'm saying is just saying we were watching. It was the Killers. It was at Brixton Academy a few years ago. Peter Crouch was there as well. Very tall, just to let you know, just in case anyone didn't think so. And Jade from Little Mix was there, and she was having a great time, as were we all.
Did she say, "Oh, it's that weird man again"?
Yeah, she kept pointing towards me, and there was a large security man who kept coming towards me. I mean, maybe it was more just, please say hi to my friend Jamie. That's what I choose to believe. But that's my favourite of the mixers, if you will. Is Jade. Don't get me wrong, all the rest, great. But yeah, I'll go with Jade. And Jade seems to be a favourite here. So Jade, if you'd like to come on to this show at any point, we will welcome you on board. I don't know how much you'll regret it. It could make or break your career. This is me saying it to the hugely successful Little Mix with millions of fans. Obviously, you need this show. What about this song is different though? What about this song is different, Abby? It says it's not a pop song, but what's different about it? You're obviously, gearing up for something new coming up for them, is it?
Yeah, it's I think in the pipeline for the new album Confetti. Like I say, one of the more lo-fi kind of tunes. coming after Holiday and Breakup Song as well. It's a bit of a change of pace.
Nice.
For our little mix.
Nice. There's nothing wrong with that. A little
Lots
change.
of guitars. Lots
nice.
of... They're really going in with the not a pop song kind of... What's the word I'm looking for?
You've got
What's
it.
the word for, like... sound but aesthetic?
Well, I mean, welcome to the highbrow show here. Heavens above. I mean, it's a little joie de vivre, if you will. A little, you know, mystique. A little mystique, little coating, if you will. You know, if Little Mix are like cod fillets that you can purchase from a shop, this kind of has like some breadcrumbs around the edges of it, some lemon and herb flavourings, you know, some tasters. I think that adequately describes it. Surely?
Yeah. Just lemon and herb, no spice. Nothing too intense.
Nothing too intense. Shall we have a listen? Shall we? Shall we have a listen to this song? So this is Little Mix, which is, and it's not a pop song. It's not a pop song.
This ain't another pop song about falling in love or a party song about drinks and drugs. All we're singing is songs about breaking my heart and my lonely nights dancing in the dark. If I'm a guilty pleasure, I want this life forever. I'll take it on 'cause anything is better than another pop song about falling in love. But if you wanna sing along, say I don't give a what.
That's a great selection, Abby. I must say.
Wonderful description. I can really see what you mean with the lemon and herb.
Yeah, the cod fillet, if you will. Yeah, I must say, I would love to see Little Mix live. You know,
Malleable.
Malleable. I've never heard anyone describe Little Mix as malleable. But yeah, I just want to go to a Little Mix show. To be fair, and big pop bops, if you will. No messing, no stressing. Wonderful. I've got some more music for you.
What
Yeah,
have you
Abby.
got for
That's
me?
caught my eye. I've got a new band called Michelle, who've been causing a bit of a stir this year. So they kind of came out with an album a few years ago called Heatwave. It kind of came out and it was around a little bit, and I don't know, it kind of like got a little bit of, you know, a little buzz, a little bit around it, but they've kind of like come back and kind of like rebooted themselves, if you will. And they're kind of like, it feels like they're a lot more, they're focused and they're ready to just crack on. And they've put out a new track called Unbound. And I guess what I really like about Michelle is it's really like smooth and easy and just really, there's really nice kind of like, I don't know, like it's like indie vibes,
Like being
kind of like R&B
gently
vibes.
rocked to sleep.
Yeah, it's
But in
like
a good way.
nice warmth. Yeah, in
Not
a good way.
that
Yeah,
it's like not in a boring, oh my god, I'm so bored, I'm going to fall asleep, but in like a caring, nurturing way.
yeah. It's definitely more that. It's definitely like, yeah, I'm being embraced by a large polar bear, but the polar bear doesn't want to kill me, obviously.
No.
Well, don't know yet. You know, let's see what Michelle come out with next. You know, maybe there will be an angry song that will want to kill me. But this song, yeah, I really, really like this song, and I think they're just like, it's kind of like, you know, where like a band keeps putting consistently really great tracks out, and you're like, okay, these guys are onto something here. You know what I mean? Like one track is amazing, but it's like they're constantly doing stuff and just putting stuff out that's really, really brilliant. And I'm really excited for what comes next, because it feels like they're just different from anything else going on right now.
I agree.
And it's just really nice, you know, a smooth one, if you will, you know, and also it's all in capital letters.
Yes. When I read it like Michelle. You know, like
yeah,
you know, like Chanel, like the parrot. That's how I read it in my head.
Yeah. Michelle, Unbound. Nothing wrong with capitals, though. Obviously, if you want to get your point across, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand fully. So let's have a listen. Yeah, this is a new one from Michelle. This is Unbound. It's a corker.
I've been thinking about you all night, all night, all night. Baby, when the sun's out, I've been trying to hit you up all night, all night, all night. Baby, you got me unbound. You won't ever need another. When we get down with each other, I wanna have you all night, all
corker indeed. A corker indeed.
The cork has been popped.
Yeah, though famously, obviously, as Lauran Hibberd actually said on the show earlier, just before you were here, Abby, don't call people from the Isle of Wight cork heads. Apparently, that's not good. Don't call them that. I'm just passing on what I've learned.
Nice little bit.
More than anything.
Lovely. Just wasn't going to do that
aware.
anyway, but I will refrain from doing that in the future.
Even more
I don't
so
know what
now.
it means.
Probably for the best. Yeah, nice one from Michelle. Yeah, looking forward to what they're doing next. It's just really, really great songs. And yeah, see what comes. Do you have one more for us,
I
Abby?
think we've got time.
We've got, we're dropping some new tracks, some really nice ones so far, like real range there. What have you got? What's knocking around? What else would you suggest?
To wrap it up today, we have Charlie Adams. And her new song didn't make it.
Nice.
Took me a minute then. I nearly didn't make it. The words nearly didn't make it out of my mouth.
Yay! What? I mean, what about this song? It, like, again, another great little pop ditty, if you will.
Yeah. I think it's got sort of a similar vein to what she usually does. Again, in a good way. A lot of Charlie Adams music reminds me kind of like driving at night.
Nice.
And I don't know whether that's because there's lots of cartoons on her album art of her like hanging out of cars.
Maybe.
It's
But
got
that's
that kind of
vibe.
retro kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very,
like
very bedroom poppy, but a little bit, like you said earlier, is a little bit Japanese housey. Like intentionally stripped back.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing some of that, and like, especially when you listen to her voice, it definitely sounds a lot like Japanese house, and I don't know, kind of like Japanese house, a little bit of Mooner in there. Really, yeah, I really like kind of. It's just a really, really like smooth,
Synthy 80s vibe.
Yeah, really like it, and yeah, it's another one where it's just like. Everyone's kind of like bringing the pop game this year. It feels. Do you know what I mean? Like pop is
lots of
pop
people
is taking
like
over.
sort of on the cusp of something.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like
I think Charlie's one of those.
Yeah, completely. I've seen. Yeah, she's announced her debut album, which is called Bullseye, not named after the seminal British TV show starring Jim Bowen.
180.
You're not going to win that. Bully's got a prize. For all the niche listeners there who enjoy Jim Bowen impression on a new music show, there you go. You're welcome. I serve
Has
them
got
up
quite
when
a
I can.
flex though for why it is called 180.
Oh, I mean,
Not 180. Oh my god, what am I talking about?
I was like, I'm sorry, what? I thought you were about to drop some darts knowledge here, and I was about to be like, whoa, did not expect this. Did not expect this. No.
I'm really not with it.
It's one of those weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Yeah, what's the niche story, you know? What's the nice little story about why it's called
the
Bullseye?
info sausage for today is... Hang on, I'm looking it up.
The professionalism of this show continues to astound me. We've nailed it. Oh, Lord.
This is why I'm not here every week.
But it's what I quite like as well about this is like, and it's kind of what with like Maya earlier as well. Little Mix, kind of like big pop, legends at this point, owning it. And but in a slightly different, They've gone on a slightly different route. Really great song as well, and like exciting to hear. And kind of with Maya as well, it's like this kind of like modern like pop kind of like alt angle that's kind of like twisting it around and kind of really playing with it. This song kind of does that as well. And yeah, I'm a big fan.
And if you'd like to know why it's called Bullseye,
here we go.
There we go. Justin Vernon gave her the nickname.
Oh, gave her the nickname Bullseye. Wow.
Yeah. While she was playing darts following a chance encounter at a Nashville dive bar. That's a cool story.
Imagine going into a Nashville bar. Like, I can't imagine Matey from Bon Iver,
Yeah.
like knocking around in a bar. Do you know what I mean? I can't imagine. And also him playing darts. Is he? Like, can you imagine that? You know what I mean? Him just being like, just like fucking hitting double top. That was my Bon Iver impression, just for anyone who was unaware. It's a
just
bit
tried
of,
to do auto tune in real time.
Like that. It's a bit of that in it, like we get there. As you can see, Bon Iver obviously much more talented than I am. I just want to lay that out there.
He's earning his pop stripes this year.
He is. He's dropping in on some big tracks as well. Interestingly, like the Japanese house song that was not so long ago.
Yeah.
Dion.
He's been with Taylor Swift.
Like
Our friend MXM2 named a song after him.
Oh, let's see. There we go. Like, maybe this is, slyly Bon Iver, just, the pop star we didn't know we needed. But yeah, after playing darts, strong move, Charlie Adams. Strong move. But let's have a listen. We'll have a listen to this track. This is unfortunately the moment where I'm going to have to ask you to head off, Abby, because Jake's coming back, and by the sounds of it, you're meant to be having a scrap. And I'll be honest with you, I can't get in the way of that.
It's okay. I think I need to be taken away anyway. So it's bedtime for me.
It's bedtime. It's bedtime for Abby. Abby will head off and have a little snooze. Thank you for dropping by and dropping some gems. Some pop gems. It's what we need at this time.
And some false information.
And some false information, because obviously we're the beacon of truth here, from what we've talked about for so long. Thank you for stopping by, Abby. We'll serenade you out.
A pleasure. Thank you very much.
This is Didn't Make It by Charlie Adams. Jake, you're back.
Sorry, mate. I couldn't find Abby anywhere. I don't know where she's gone.
Yeah, that's I don't know where she might have gone. Yeah,
I guess we'll just have to not do tracks this week.
Yeah. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. I promise. Nothing happened. So yeah, but did you have a nice little walk? Did you get some fresh air? Your legs are limber.
No, it was horrible.
Right?
Got mauled by a dog. Rained on. And then I got locked out of I was banging on the window. Do you not hear me? I got locked out of the.
So we're here now with our album of the week. Now, usually we obviously talk about albums that are out right now. So as you're listening, if you're listening, dead on now. So your album's usually out. His albums are out this week. But this week we thought we'd change things up a bit because, we'll reveal later in the show what our plans are for next week's episode of Down with Boring. But it means we won't have time to talk about this album, which is coming out next Friday. So as you listen to it, the Friday coming up. So a nice little preview, if you will. We're here. We're talking about
really
the
annoying,
debut album.
People that are looking forward to the album, we'll just be here talking absolute bollocks about it and not really giving a clear indication of anything to do with the album. And then we'll just be like, great, well, enjoy waiting a week.
You enjoy waiting. Build it up. But what you can also do is this can build your anticipation, if anything. And we're all about whetting appetites over here.
We're all about whetting the bed appetites. We're all about whetting appetites.
I mean, if we've had a big night, let's not rule it out, but it doesn't go down
Let's
well.
rule it out. Let's just go right on record and rule it out.
From wed betting...
From what now?
From bed wetting.
From web wetting.
Beabadoobee debut album, Fake It Flowers.
You mean Beabadoobee?
This week, it's an album that a lot of people have been looking forward to. We've been looking forward to it. We're going to talk about it a bit more, but first, let's have a listen to Care.
Get it better, I don't want your sympathy. Stop saying you give a shit, 'cause you don't really care, yeah.
There it is. A song that's out. See, you were listening and you thought, oh, wait a minute. If they're going to review the album,
are we going to drop something?
Yeah. Maybe they're going to.
Are we just
no,
going to drop?
We're not going to play new tracks.
Just want to flag. Yeah,
you
to flag the dirty
you're
hit.
insatiable.
We're not doing
we
that.
give you an inch, you take a mile. So just fuck off. All right, it's just going to be released material. We're going to talk about the album, and then you're going to wait.
We're not going to get into any legal battles here. We are not LimeWire. We are not Napster. We are not The Leak. If anything, we are a marrow that provides life. And that is something that life lives through this Beabadoobee debut album, Fake It Flowers.
You know, a marrow's just a big courgette.
Little big courgettes.
Exactly. And that's actually how the Beabadoobee album made me feel, you know? Like,
like a little
the courgette of the EP had matured into a mighty marrow of an album.
The thing is, Jake, I can see your point. Obviously, yeah, people have been talking about, Beabadoobee, I guess the past, 18 months, I guess, maybe.
That sounds about right.
And kind of looking forward to this. And I guess a lot of anticipation. And the question is, does it deliver? There's a lot of pressure on this. And I think it bloody well does. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Jake? What's your first thoughts on the album?
I'm going to be honest with you, Jamie. I didn't expect it to be entirely opera.
Is this what this is going to be? We're just going to lead down different paths.
No, I did really enjoy it. I to be fair, it's not like I didn't expect to enjoy it. I mean, the previous stuff that's come out has been great. Care that we just played is an absolute banger. And yeah, I think it does, as you say, does live up to it. And I think it's really good to see, because as you say, it's been a sort of 18 months, and I feel like feels like this album might never come. So it's nice that it's actually out and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and I
it's
guess
not
also
been the
it's a bit
best
of a thing
time
more,
for new and emerging artists to build an album campaign. So I'm just glad this one seems to have had some anticipation, gone well, and be a decent album. Ticks all the boxes.
It built. Yeah, because I guess like Beabadoobee obviously first kind of came to people's kind of like awareness with quite, I guess, like lo-fi kind of like more acoustic led tracks, if you will, kind of like written from a bedroom and kind of that kind of like coffee, obviously.
Real like courgette material,
huge. Yeah, real courgette material, and it's blossomed. And you could kind of see with like EP releases like that Space Cadet EP that she was pointing towards kind of like a heavier sound. And I guess if you've seen her live as well, you kind of straight away get this idea of like, right, no, she's like massively into this sort of like grungy 90s alt rock kind of style, and it comes across massively on this album. Like it feels like she's kind of combined the two, but it's definitely kind of more focused towards that newer kind of like sound that she's discovered and kind of like been pushing through. And yeah, like you say, tracks like Care, Worth It, for example, you can really hear that there's this kind of, I guess, this kind of like heavy alternative and like style to it, but at the middle of it is these really melodic and earnest kind of like
I think
pop songs.
What's great about it is that, as you say, like the kind of grunge influence is massive there, and I think it's just a masterclass in how to be massively influenced and like to signpost the influence of one genre, but not sound like you're just doing like a revival act, not sounding like you just like wish you were born and then read it around for the original. You know what I mean? It's not like. It's not nostalgic in any way. It's just like, I really love that alt rock stuff. I really love it, and I've incorporated it into these pop bangers. And I think it's pretty faultless at doing that, to be honest. There isn't really a song where you feel like it's a bit too much of anything. It all feels like I think if you're a fan of Beabadoobee, you are going to love the album. I don't think there's anything on here that is going to make people be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And like, I was an arsehole when I was 20 years old. Like, how the fuck's she pulling this out of the bag? You know what I mean? Like a debut album, 20 years old, global pandemic, and you listen to it and you're just like, this is immaculate.
Yeah, I mean tracks like there's like tracks like Diet Red, Charlie Brown, and like kind of I really even like Further Away, which is even like a little bit more like wistful, a bit more a bit more calmer, than kind of like other stuff that's going on in the album. Together, obviously, absolutely slaps, and really goes.
Let's not
like
use the
all
word
these
slaps.
tracks. It slaps. Does it tickle? The question I'll leave for you, Jake.
That's the eternal question, isn't it?
It's the eternal question.
Anyone can slap, but it takes a lover to tickle.
It's the question that hangs over Fake It Flowers. An amazing record, and I think it's just quite the confidence there to just be like, I'm going to make this sort of album. This is what I want to do. She must have known. Obviously, there's a lot of people who really admire that kind of like early stuff in terms of the really acoustic stripped back stuff. Like I remember the first time I saw Beabadoobee was in like a coffee shop in Leeds. Coffee, hey there, hey. But like, and that was kind of like her, kind of like with a guitar, kind of like just sat there, and just playing songs like that, very like stripped back, and kind of. I was thinking, well, is this the sort of artist she's going to be? And then she played another show, and it was like that again. I was like, okay, is this the sort of direction? And then suddenly it just went right. No, this is what I really want to be doing. And yeah, she's like you say, carries it off without it being too much of a. Too much just like, oh, I'm being this art. This is the sort of artist I want to be. It doesn't feel like you've just copied it. It feels like she's kind of like made it her own.
I think like she got signed to Dirty Hit, and that was when the press really started picking up, And she toured with the 1975. That was when a lot of people first saw her. Dirty Hit to a lot of people is just synonymous with the 1975, especially with Wolf Alice being away at the moment. So to listen to this debut and to see the press she's getting and the influence she's pulling from, and to see that she's not in the 1975 shadow. She's very much in her own lane, and I think you can tell how great she is and how great the album is, that people aren't covering it. That's not the angle anymore. The angle when she was first around was, Dirty Hit, 1975, the new one from Dirty Hit. Whereas now, I think there's a lot of fans out there and a lot of people that'll enjoy the album that probably don't even really give a shit, but don't know what Dirty Hit is. Just fans out there that will hear the music and be like, yeah, this is great. And I think that's the real test, isn't it? When you get signed to such a hyped label, it can be a blessing and a curse. And I think she's really kind of done well to not be, like you just say, just the new one on this label,
Exactly. And I think as well, it's quite good is that she kind of like, that kind of, I guess, connection with her fans is obviously really strong as well. It feels like she kind of like, I don't know, like there is this youthful connection that kind of like lives through these songs, and it definitely feels like some of the lyrics and kind of like, I guess, themes of this album. You can tell that it's from someone who is very much growing up and kind of like learning who she is. Stuff that gets emo song and Horan Saracen. I hope I've said that right. It shows its breadth. I'm trying. I think that's the words. But the ability to go from very, very heavy in your face to kind of like stripping things back a bit, but still maintaining that level is just really impressive. And she stands out because of it. And I think it's the sort of album that, like you said, if you love Beabadoobee, you're really going to just enjoy this album so much and have it on play just constantly.
Have it on play. You're just going to have it on play. You're not going to have it on pause. You're not going to have it on eject. You're not going to have it on don't buy. You're going to have it on play. And that's what I think is great about this album, is that people that listen to it will have it on play.
That's exactly it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to debut a brand new track. No, we're not. No, we're not. Anyone listening? Stop.
We'd love to, but we're sorry. We can't.
Yeah. We're not doing that. We are not hottest record in the world.
Jamie, I don't think you understood. We'd love to, but we're sorry. We can't.
Wanna think twice. with what could have been your life. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It hurts me. You could be the one that deserves this even more. But you said
That was "We'd Love To, but We're Sorry We Can't" by Beabadoobee.
Which she's helpfully just cut down to "Sorry" on the album. That's probably a song that's probably the perfect kind of like summary of the album,
Of
isn't
this
it? Kind of like that.
podcast.
Going,
Just sorry.
sorry. Is it worth it? Probably not. How was your day? See how you listen after this. And we head off into the abyss. But yeah, I think "Sorry" captures it quite nicely. That kind of like going from like, very, raw and vulnerable songwriting into that loud crescendo of an ending. But wonderful stuff. Beabadoobee, Fake It Flowers, which is out Friday. So not now. So try
No,
and search.
not now.
You
Sorry,
can't find
lads
it.
and ladies
Sorry,
and
lads.
everyone else.
It's going to be good though. It's going to be good. Oh no, I've just seen what's next.
Oh
God.
yeah, ready to go?
Ready to go.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
That's what it's got to. Ready to go. Yeah, I suppose. All right. Okay. Tweets of the week.
That wasn't very good.
Bit more melodic. I'm trying to.
I didn't enjoy it.
Trying to get a record deal here, Jake.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. If you want to sell
Sorry.
out for the man, then go for it.
For the ones, Jake, what have you got? What's first up?
Well, I'm gonna
in
open
tweets
with
from
one.
this week. Yeah,
From HMLTD, formerly known as Redacted, due to a corporate lawsuit in the making.
formerly known as the Whopper Mill.
Exactly. Yes, formerly known as Burger King Incorporated.
Sub of the day.
They've tweeted, "It's quite hard to tell the difference between a weasel and a stoat."
Jake, for listeners who don't know what a stoat is, what is a stoat? I think people are aware what a weasel is.
Well, the
What
issue is,
what's a
I'm
stoat?
almost certain that a stoat is just a type of weasel.
Oh, there it is!
It's
So-
also known as a short-tailed weasel, according to Wikipedia. It just looks,
So-
the stoat's a bit larger, according to it. Also,
Yeah.
I think it's really, I mean, I can weaselly tell the difference, because one of them is totally different to the other one.
But how? How? When I look at it, do you know what? I don't think I could pinpoint a weasel out in the open. I'll just think it's a
It's a
small
long mouse,
creature.
isn't it? Really long mouse.
Yeah, stretched out. So
Or a
I wouldn't
small
know.
otter. It's a ferret, but wild.
That's it, ferret. Yeah.
You know what I do
I'll go
find
with
weird,
ferret.
actually, is that there are quite a few animals that are in that sort of weirdly long rodent category. Like ferrets,
Yeah.
weasels,
Yeah.
stoats. What are those ones everyone kills for their fur?
Fucking hell.
Ermines.
Ermines. I
Or
beg
maybe
your
they're
pardon?
maybe they're a type of weasel or a stoat.
Yeah, but I guess they're all the same, aren't they? It's like elongated, It's like in medieval
Too
times,
long.
where there's the stretchy thing that
The
would stretch
rack,
people
yeah.
out a bit. Maybe there was just a bit more of that going on than we think. They're sticking these poor weasels or stoats on a plank and maybe just giving them a little one too. But you never know. You never know. I mean, I can't say I'll notice, to be honest with you. I'm
Well, it
more
looks-
used to
it
seeing
looks
certain
like-
creatures.
A stoat is larger than a weasel, and its tail is a bit bigger.
Right. Okay.
But also, I think what you need to bear in mind with all of these things is that, like, we invented these names for animals that don't give a shit.
True. The
So,
animals.
like,
The animals didn't
if
invent
you
these
see a
names.
stoat
Yeah.
and call it a weasel, it's not going to care.
Yeah, it's wondering. It's
Pine
probably wondering like.
martens, they also look very similar to weasels and stoats, as do polecats.
Well,
So,
Also, like you say, like the stoat will just turn to the weasel and be like, "Why am I being called something different here? I
No,
thought
they
we were
don't speak.
all the same." What do they speak? Stoatish.
No,
How
they
does
don't
stoat speak? I mean, they must speak. They don't. They're not fucking mute.
Not to the likes
They're
of you,
not.
they don't, mate.
They're not mute. They haven't got one of those computers.
Is a
that,
mongoose? A mongoose feels quite similar to me as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that's in there.
Yeah, they
what
look
would
quite
happen if
similar.
a squirrel didn't have a big tail? Would that be? Would
No,
that potentially
squirrels
fall into
aren't
the
as
category?
long, are they? Like a weasel is like a stretched squirrel, like like a limousine. The limousine of the squirrel world.
The limousine, the squirrel world.
You ever seen a fossa before, Jamie?
What did you just call me? A fossa what? A fossa.
It's the largest. It's the largest carnivore in Madagascar, I think, or the largest predator, and it's
What is
descended from mongoose, and it looks like a cat with a tiny, tiny head. I'll send you a picture now. People at home, now's the time to Google the fossa.
Yeah, take your time, have a look.
Oh, has that worked?
Oh,
Doesn't
no,
look like
that's
it's worked. Sorry.
What's the technology going on here?
Fucking state of it. Please hold. There you go. There's a fossa, mate. I've sent it. People at home, you must have had time to look at it. It's not sent. Oh, there we go. It's sent now.
Oh, that's a big beast. It looks
Cat with a
like
weird
it's
head.
it's like the body of a jaguar. Yeah, with
And
the
then the head of a house cat.
The head of a shrunken pea. Heavens above.
Yeah, odd stuff.
Well, this is it. You learn something new here every day on the show. Well, not every day, because you don't need this daily. Heavens above. I don't think.
Is this not daily?
Anyone? Yeah. We just take the audio and use it somewhere. I don't think my flatmates would appreciate hearing me daily yabber on in such a
I don't appreciate it
incessant
weekly.
manner. But what I will say is that does clarify Happy Meal's point, which is it is quite hard to tell the difference. So
It is, yes.
So I would have to confirm what Happy Meal was saying there. Should we play a HM LTD song, if you will?
Yes. Why don't we play To the Door, which is where I would show a weasel after identifying it.
Get out. Out the doors, into the
Weasels
future.
and stoats, get the fuck out.
Wonderful
Got another
stuff.
one for you, Jamie.
Why not? Just keep hitting me with them.
So this one is from a little band called Buzzard Times 3, as I believe they like to be called. We had them on
Triple buzzard, famously.
No, Buzzard Times 3, I think, is what they settled on. They have they've tweeted,
Yes.
converting our studio into a TGI Fridays, going to retrain as one of those guys that makes you stand at the table for your birthday. If anyone wants to book a table, give me a ring.
This is obviously in light of the recent developments going on here in the UK.
So the government has now
where-
stipulated that anyone who's out of work has to work at TGI Fridays. It's
a very
real,
unique partnership.
It is. That's so you know, right? Everyone wonders this, right? TGI Fridays is really expensive. Only seems to exist in like the car parks of cinemas. You know, those weird like kind of
retail
leisure
parks. It's a retail park thing, isn't it? Yeah.
People are looking at that and going, "How is that a viable business?" It's because the government forces out of work people to work at TGI Fridays.
You know when people get sent to jail and you wonder what's happening? All I'm saying. You know, and the problem is not many people go into TGI Fridays anymore. The only busy one that I'm aware of is the one located in the O2, and that's just purely because of timing before gigs. Not the rapper, the music show. Remember them? But that's the point. You know, there's not that much time, so that's the only one that's thriving. Whereas, you know,
if you commit a particularly bad crime, you have to spend the rest of your life at the TGI Fridays in the Crawley Leisure Park near the IMAX cinema.
And
a
I've been
haunted
there.
place.
You don't want to go there. Heavens above.
You don't.
You'll be drowning in milkshakes before you even know it, and not the nice type of milkshake either. I'm talking about the real bad stuff. Jesus Christ. Ugh.
What is the bad stuff?
Bad stuff is they do like a lime one, which on paper sounds quite nice.
Really?
Yeah, they do a lime one. This sounds quite
That's
nice.
grim. Why does this fucking business still exist? I mean, it's shit anyway. Why are they trying to do that?
All I'm going to say is Frankie and Benny's is better, obviously,
It is.
famously.
And even
Just
I would
you know.
I would not die on the Frankie and Benny's hill. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Frankie and Benny's ultra.
I would.
Like,
I would
Garfunkel's
100%
also
would.
fine. You know.
But
Is Garfunkel's named after Garfunkel from Simon and Garfunkel?
yeah, they heard Bridge Over Troubled Water and they're like, do you know what? That's a really good name for a British, like, cafe restaurant vibe.
Well,
so
I
let's
think
go with
the
that.
interesting thing about Bridge Over Troubled Water is that the cover of it, like the cover of the album,
This is, yeah.
is this the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, the
What,
cover
is
of
it-
the
it's them
album
two?
kind of makes it look like Garfunkel is like the main guy, because Simon's in front, but Garfunkel's like looming over him. Garfunkel
He's a
looks like the
tall
business.
fella.
So
Tall
if you
fella,
just
isn't
listened to Bridge Over Troubled Water and you had to name your restaurant Simon's or Garfunkel's, you'd be like, Garfunkel's, obviously, he's the main guy.
Yeah.
But like,
Maybe that's it.
fucked it, mate. You fucked that right up.
Maybe the owner's favourite, you know, artist was Simon and Garfunkel, and like you say, that decision came up. You know, the hair.
Also, if you look at the cover of the album, Paul Simon's hair actually looks like a big moustache on Garfunkel. Give it a try sometime. It looks like he's got this huge moustache. And on that note, this is Double Denim Hop by Buzzard, Buzzard, Buzzard.
Listen up, friend, to what I'm about to say.
Buzzard. Now, obviously, working away at TGI Fridays. What we will say on this is obviously in light of this retraining idea that the Chancellor here in the UK has put across to musicians
the completely batshit
and
crazy
artists.
bullshit idea.
Yeah, basically saying that artists, not viable. Musicians, people in the music industry and events, they're not viable. They're not worthwhile.
Remember, the Tories don't just hate you. It's worse than that. They don't care about you. They don't want you to die. They just couldn't give a shit if you did.
Yeah, that's the problem here. So basically, just remember this moment whilst the music industry tries and survives.
And
whilst
presumably
being
whatever
faced with
you
all
are
this.
currently doing is also being fucked as well. If you're at school or college, they don't have any funding. If you're at uni, then all of the decisions you think your uni is making that aren't great, that's actually the government forcing them to do that and then blaming the unis for it. And if you're at work, fucked.
Yeah. So
Any
basically,
tweets for us, Jamie.
fuck 'em.
Yeah.
And long live music. I've got a tweet for you here. Got a tweet to change the tone, if you will. This one is from Self Esteem.
Oh, yeah.
Who has tweeted out, and she has said, have you ever met anyone who doesn't know how to play charades? Like, it just wasn't a thing they got taught? I can't say I have, which raises the question, is the education system in this country more leading towards party games than it is actual life lessons? Jake, your thoughts?
Yes.
Wonderful analysis from Jake.
Is self-esteem sure that this person wasn't just, taking the piss? Are they sure it wasn't all a charade and actually they did know how to play
So what?
charades?
The charade was them pretending to be someone who doesn't know how to play charades?
Yeah, basically.
I don't
Wheels
know.
within wheels.
I don't know. I guess not. I'm sure that self-esteem has got this covered at this point, and it's more than aware. Charades was never really the game that would play. To be honest, did enjoy. I guess I don't know. Pictionary, that was around, wasn't it? That was always going good.
Yeah, charades. People try and do it at Christmas. It just sucks, doesn't it? Like charades
Everyone
was
gets done with it
invented
after a
before
while.
TV, and now we don't
Yeah.
need it anymore.
We've got
no one's
repeats.
milling
We've got
their
repeats.
own flour anymore, so why are we still playing charades? That's what I say.
Yeah, we've got repeats of Only Fools and Horses on the TV. Why are we trying to pretend to be a dolphin? Is all I'm asking. It's the key questions that I want asked, to be honest. I don't want to be flopping around in the front room at Christmas. Come on,
Excuse me, Jesus Christ!
I'm on.
No one
I'm
wants
on the way
that.
out. I'm on the way out, Jake. I need to make sure that my body can sustain a running away from the zombie herd, which is obviously coming up soon.
I believe it's a horde, not a herd. But yeah, fine, okay.
Or is it a gaggle? A gaggle of zombies.
A gaggle of zombies.
Or just like
A jazz
doing it all
troupe
that,
of zombies.
Exactly. Charades is an old school game. I feel like those sort of games are kind of dying out now.
Fuck charades.
Jake's feelings are very clear on this. I will say I will partake in a little charade here and there. I do a mean, little hand puppet sign thing. I can do a bit of that. So if anyone wants to invite me around for charades, I'm here. I'm open, and I'll bring some cheese and wine. And with that in mind, let's have a listen to this absolute tune of a self-esteem song, shall we? This is the best of self-esteem.
I did the best that I could, babe. I did the best that I could, babe. I did the best that I could. On my way, I'm on my way. All that looking for me off my gaze is strong and straight, but my mind's half glazed. You get all settled, but my trips have been fun. My trips have been fun.
Not to be confused with Simply the Best, obviously, by Tina Turner, which is, undeniable.
A different song.
If you will. Famously. As you can see, we're a really on-point music podcast here. But it is a different song. It is a different song,
So,
I can clarify.
Jamie, this brings
Yes.
us to a close. We must now reveal next week
Yes.
will be a special show.
Yeah, why have we been fucking around this whole episode and bringing albums forward and doing all that? And you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Next week, a special show that we're looking at. We're going to be launching our 2020 Readers Poll. That's right. We're going to ask you to look back on this year and pick out the best moments. We're not fucking ridiculous, apparently, but we're going to ask that. And we want you to, we want to look and see, who's your favourite bands, favourite albums, favourite breakthrough, favourite, stream moment or live moment. We don't know what's
Favourite
going
pasta
on.
sauce,
Favourite, why not? Band that you're looking forward to, you're looking to break through next year. Who's your artist that you want to see break
that
through?
isn't Basil,
Yeah. What's your favourite takeaway restaurant? We'll find out.
But yeah, so we're going to be chatting through our personal picks for some of the categories. I think we're going to try and get some other dork writers on if they haven't all been scared off by the existence of this podcast. A
get other
break from
opinions.
usual programming, but sure to be fun nonetheless. So
Instead of
strap on, and strap on down.
Absolutely don't do that. Heavens above, we're a family show. We're going to delve in across it all. Get some thoughts on kind of our highlights from the year, albums that are out, favourite songs, tracks, and much, much more. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. So we're not just talking nonsense of the week. Trying to distill the year into that in terms of what to expect, and then obviously we want to hear from you in terms of what's your picks. All comes together for the Readers Poll, and we will present the award winners with prizes. Don't know how. Well, just keep it on the down low. We'll slip them a $5 here and there.
Okay.
Get them a bag of crisps.
As long as you're paying.
Well, it's out of the sponsorship kitty, which I'm just looking at now, and it is
Bereft.
empty. But anyway, look forward to that next week. Well, it'll be a cracker.
Now,
so yeah, see you then.
Speaking of next week, do you have any predictions for what's going to happen over the next week?
Yeah, I reckon. I think a good prediction is you're going to move into your new place. Obviously, yeah. Good luck on the move. If you need me to help at all, don't ring me.
Okay, great. Won't do.
I reckon that when moving into your new abode, you're going to find a room in the corner. And you're going to be like, what's that room over? Like, I didn't see that room over there. And you're going to open this little hatch and you're going to peek inside. You're going to turn the light on and someone's going to just shout and be like, ah. And you look down and there is Paolo Nutini.
Oh,
and
yeah. Wondered what happened
he
to
will
him.
return. He will return in force and take over the world, save the world. And it all is because of you, Jake. So that's my prediction.
Oh, lovely.
I think that's a reasonable one.
Yeah, I think so.
What about yourself?
I think that Keith Richards is going to spend the next week furiously learning how to code computer viruses so that he can overtake Mick Jagger on the most dangerous musician to Google poll. That's what I think is going to happen. And it's going to cause a rift so bad that the Rolling Stones are going to bust up.
He's going to crash the servers of the world. Keith Richards.
Yeah, it's going to be like Y2K, but real.
Is that Y2? Bit of that.
Exactly.
Amen.
Right, I think that's probably all we've got time for this week, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, I think so. Let's head off.
Remember, although a humane rat trap might seem like the best way to ease your conscience if you're dealing with a rodent problem, it's actually illegal to release rats back into the wild as they're classified as vermin. So a quick kill is better than a humane trap in most of the UK.